So when should you use an MSP for your organization? So we've already covered what a managed service provider, aka MSP, is. Here's the video. Got it right this time. We've even talked about when you shouldn't use an MSP to support the IT for your organization. There's that one too. So we still need to cover when you should use an MSP, right? So let's get on that. So there are three main areas where MSPs often have more flexibility and potential value than an internal IT department. First is in their staffing. MSPs can afford, and really need, to bring specialists and more senior technicians onto their team. So if your organization needs about 10% of a DBA, database analyst, it doesn't make sense to hire one, does it? Especially if it's a temporary need. But if an MSP has 10 clients in the same boat, it makes perfect sense for them to add that DBA to their staff. So an MSP should be able to staff their organization with the flexibility and skills that your organization needs. The second area has to do with tools and standards. MSPs should have a standard set of software tools, methodologies, and portals, we call them STMPs, that they bring for a majority of their clients. These are things like endpoint, antivirus protection, network monitoring, ticketing, tracking, security pieces. And they should have the time necessary to evaluate their stamps, implement best practices, and even replace them when appropriate. Since they're going to be using these stamps for all of their clients, they'll get the best bang for their buck by spending some quality time understanding, implementing, and training for each one of these stamps. Most companies with internal IT don't have that luxury, since they really only need to support a single company, their employers, with that particular product. So finally, let's talk about the future. Still no jetpacks. But are you keeping track of the new technologies and security risks that are coming down the road as it applies to your organization? Again, the MSP should be keeping an eye on the future, both from an opportunity as well as a risk perspective. Here at Simplex-IT, for example, we have all of our technical employees developing new skills and new certifications. We also send several of our team to various technical conferences to get a feel for what's coming down the pike. And through our relationship with our clients, we can apply those to make sure it's a win for everybody. All right, there you go. Now, let's talk some more about your organization. These benefits mean the most when your organization has a relatively standard IT configuration. The more standard your organization's IT is, the better these benefits align with your organization. That's not to say that an MSP can't handle specialized requirements. Most companies will have some sort of special need along those lines. But the less you have, the more you can take advantage of the standards and best practices that the MSP has created. Now, I want to be clear about one thing. There are internal IT folks who absolutely rock it and who bring fantastic services and values to their organizations. And honestly, there are some MSPs who, well, let's just say they're not bringing quite as much value as we'd like. But what we're talking about here is really about the core concept of an MSP and the strengths that they bring to the table. So does your organization need an MSP like Simplex-IT? Maybe.